Hi, this is Dr. Reese. Can you hear and see me okay?
Hi, Dr. Reese. My
Uh,
internet's a little wonky. Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Can you identify who you are and that you're in the state of Indiana?
Oh, sorry. Hang on. I lost you there.
Oh, no, oh, okay. We might have kind of a difficult connection. Can you hear me now?
I can now. Yes.
Okay. Would you be,
Yeah, I give consent. Sorry. I think you
okay.
cut out a little bit, but it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm noticing that. I wonder if maybe, so just to let you know, if we do end up losing this call, then I will try to call you on the phone and we can set up something either in person or something like that. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So, Laura, it sounds like you're coming in today because you have a little bit of a cough. Is that right? Okay. Any fevers or anything like that?
No, I thought I was getting better.
Oh,
Like
oh no.
today, it's getting worse.
Oh, okay. We're kind of choppy in and out. So I think I heard you say that it was getting better and then now today maybe a little bit worse. Is that right? Just to confirm.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
I think the internet's messing up a little bit.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. I think actually we're losing our connection. Lori, can you hear me now? Lori? Okay, Laura, if you can hear me, I'm going to go ahead and stop the visit and then we'll come back on. I'll give you a phone call, just like I said I would, and we'll come back on and decide if we want to connect in a different way. So this was an example of technology failure, and telemedicine is a new technology. We are still kind of getting the kinks out, getting used to using it. So there will be instances when you drop a call, when you lose your audio or your audio becomes inaudible, or you may even lose, you might lose your video. If any of those things occur, note in the video that we had a backup plan. So there was, hey, if I drop this call or if we lose this connection, I'm going to go ahead and call you on your cell phone, and we can make sure we can, if there's another way for us to connect, then we can go ahead and do that. Whether that be a face-to-face visit, whether we need to help you get some equipment at home to have a successful visit, we will make sure that we get that done. Also note that when you do lose an audio, that you lose part of the quality of the visit. So make sure that you hear that patient. There were times when I asked the patient to repeat themselves because I wanted to make sure that we're getting the information that we need. It's also important when you drop your video. So I could still hear the patient for a while, but the video had frozen. And that's important because sometimes when you lose the video, you lose an important part of a telemedicine visit. You lose some of that nonverbal type of communication. You lose the ability to look at your patient and their environment. You lose the ability to see whether a patient maybe has lost weight. You lose the ability to see where a patient may have some difficulty communicating, may have some difficulty walking, may have some other chronic medical issues that you may not be able to appreciate on audio alone. The other thing to notice when you lose a video or an audio, but maybe an indication that the person is lacking a resource, whether that be Wi-Fi access or digital literacy, the ability to manipulate a camera. And we may need to offer resources for that person in the home or allow them to come into the visit and make sure they have transportation to come into a visit. Okay, so what I was told, Lori, is that you've got some new kind of issues around the side of your face, maybe, or you'd had some new pain here. Tell me more.
I woke up. I don't know if I slept wrong. I don't know. It just is. It's kind of around my ear here. It just hurts a lot. And, I was.
And my concern is that you might have an infection actually inside of your ear or inside of the ear canal. And so to diagnose that, we really need to take a look. And I don't think that we have the equipment to do that over the video visit. So I apologize, but I think we'll need to have you come in to see your primary care provider. Is that possible for you?
You don't think you can just give me some antibiotics if you think it's an infection?
Yeah, unfortunately, that's hard to do because we really need to look. We don't want to use antibiotics inappropriately. And let's just say, so as you notice in that video, there are things that are not amenable to telemedicine. We may not have the equipment. We may not have the ability to do a certain type of physical exam. And so in that case, just letting the patient know, hey, this isn't something I can do on a camera. I will need for you to come in. I'll block a spot for you. We'll make it easy for you. We'll help you with transportation as need be. But unfortunately, this type of technology is not going to work for us today. Sometimes it's helpful to think about different diagnoses that we might be able to see on telemedicine and different ones that we may not be able to see on telemedicine. And then you can be a little bit more prepared when you go into a visit, or if these are potentially some things that we might have to move more to a face-to-face visit. Today, it sounds like you're not feeling well. Tell me what's going on.
Started having a bad cough about 3 or 4 days ago.
Okay.
Everybody's been sick. I thought it was just a cold, but
Tell me about what you're bringing up again.
I don't know. It's slimy pink stuff.
Okay.
Kind of red.
Okay, so it looks like you might have a little bit of blood in there, maybe.
Yeah, maybe it's gross.
Okay. Lori, I hate to do this, but I think that maybe we need to get you to a higher level of care, basically. And so I think we need to maybe get you to the emergency room to have somebody take a look at you. Unfortunately, the breathing bothers me. And then if you're coughing up some blood and that kind of thing, I think maybe you have a pretty nasty pneumonia. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I feel terrible. I'll see if I can catch a ride.
Okay. And who would that ride be?
My partner gets home in about an hour.
Okay. Is there anyone that you can call now to see if they could take you over to the emergency room? Would your partner be willing to come home a little early?
I don't know how to get a hold of her.
Okay. Okay. All right. Is there anyone else, a neighbor or somebody else that you feel comfortable with that could just drop you off? Or do you feel like you could count on somebody else right now?
Oh.
Okay. I hate to have you drive yourself. I don't feel comfortable with the breathing, and I really would like for you to get there pretty timely. So if you're not able to get a hold of somebody, then I would recommend that you call an ambulance. Would you be able to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I appreciate you doing that. I know we're going to have to disconnect this call for you to do that. So what I'm going to do is after I disconnect this call, I'm going to allow you to call emergency services. And then I'm going to let my office staff know that we need to connect back with you in about 15 minutes, just to make sure that that call went through and you have some help on the way. Okay. That's an example of escalation of care in a telemedicine video. Sometimes with this type of technology, we can't predict, just like you would if somebody was sitting in the office with you, if somebody's going to be sicker than what you anticipate. And so when you're on a video and you're not next to a person, then it can be difficult to know what to do next. So talk to your preceptor before. Make sure that you have a clear plan of what to do when you feel like the patient is too sick and you need to escalate care. And so these types of settings can be very anxiety provoking. They can stir up a lot of emotions. And so if you need to, I would encourage you to debrief with your preceptor after a situation like this, so you can understand what you're feeling and make sure that you process that. Another way of managing a situation where you're very concerned about a patient, you're concerned the patient may acutely decompensate, is you can actually call 911 for that patient. You would have to verify their address, which is often on the medical record. If the patient is able to confirm where their address is, then you're able to call 911 on behalf of the patient.
I'm in Indiana.
Wonderful. And are you in a safe and private environment?
I'm at home. The family's here. They're in another room though.
Okay. Okay. So you feel like you have privacy right now?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
You might hear them though, because they're kind of loud.
Okay, that's fine. We're back or anything like that. Oh.
No pain.
Lori, you had somebody just walk through your background. I just want to make sure that you are in a safe and private environment.
Yeah, it's safe.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
everybody kind of just joined me, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, how do you feel? Would you like to continue the visit? Are you comfortable with continuing the visit, or would you like to reschedule for a different time?
I mean, maybe.
Yes. And the beauty of telemedicine is that you are able to be with the patient in their home. And so sometimes our homes are unpredictable. And there are people that potentially could come in and out of our environment on both sides. And if this happens in a telemedicine visit, the best thing is to acknowledge it. If you're the provider, put your camera down, make sure that you have secured your environment, let the patient know, hey, look, my child walked in, or my parent walked in. I apologize. I have a safe and private environment right now. I'm going to go ahead and put my camera up. Make sure that the patient is comfortable with continuing the visit. And if so, keep going. If the patient has somebody walking into their background, just confirm that the patient is okay with that environment. Is it quiet? Is it safe for that patient? A lot of patients will have caregivers as part of their appointments, or will have family members come in and out, and that's okay. But just make sure that the patient is in a place where they feel comfortable and safe.